Day 153. 153 is the sum of the cube of its digits. But we're not here for mathematical trivia. Hello, it is I, Dr. Brian Norgon 111. I've been working on my notes, so let me pull them up. I was thinking about the stuff that we found locked away in the archives with the filing cabinet keys. We found Mary's birth certificate, and we found stuff suggesting that some of the royal bloodline of Arindia that got exiled when Fen took over was like still out in the world. And they also called the royals Jeari, which was apparently the surname of the mother, and in a Rajan tradition, the daughter takes on the mother's surname rather than the father's, which I hadn't even thought about it before, but I guess probably edit in the birth certificate. Uh, it's the case that Simon Sinclair and Clara Epson have a child that's named Mary Matthew Epson rather than Mary Matthew Sinclair, and so they were doing that in the Arajan tradition. But in any case, on top of Clara's tomb, there was a note written in Arajan writing, and we have learned a bit of this language. Well, I've learned a lot more of this language now and inferred a few bits. And let's see, I should put this somewhere up on the screen where I can see it, but then also refer to my notes in terms of the translation. And I got to figure out what I'm going to do for you all as well. But that's for video editing, Brian, to figure out. In any case, I'm going to read to you now. There's still a couple of words that I don't know, but I'm going to read to you now what I think this note says. I believe it's addressed to Mary. Well, it's not addressed, but it's to Mary from Clara. I guess, like, on her deathbed or after she died, or I don't know. But it's quite the revelation. To my first child, you are my day, you are my night, you are my world. To you I gift my house to the south. New day, your future without me. Some of this translation's kind of rough, sorry. New day, my future without you. First I bid you heed my words. You are blank child. It's ODD, and I still don't know how to translate that, but it appears to be like an affix because it's also, there's a DDO somewhere else I've seen in a Rajan script at the end of a word. But here's the interesting bit. You are not of House Sinclair. You are not of House Epson. Forget your blank north. I'm not sure what the blank is, EIN. Your name is Jeari. That's the Jeari. That's the royal surname that suggests that Mary is like, I haven't counted the generations, something like the great granddaughter of King Desolates from the Arindian years. Your future is to the south, away from Fen. Your, and then there's a bit I can't translate, Ein Jorovo. Yeah. Toward Araja, toward south, new future. Last word, my child. My Jora. I also don't know how to translate that. But basically, we were explicitly told that EL and UL meant I and you, and I inferred that ELD and IL and ULD meant mine and yours, because then all of a sudden everything kind of fell into place. But in any case, I think this is Clara telling Mary that she's adopted, which explains perhaps why the birth certificate is locked away in a drawer. That's obviously like a forgery or whatever. the royal family had been exiled, and for whatever reason, Clara and Simon take Mary as their child when actually she's, rightful kind of heir to the throne. So that's my interpretation of what's going on there right now. So that seems super interesting. I spent, I don't know, like an hour or two working on cracking more bits of the language, like bringing in every little scrap of Arajan writing I have from anywhere of late in order to put that all together. Additionally, I did take a close look at the ivory dice, and I think it's not interesting. Ivory comes from elephant tusks, and one of the sides is an elephant, one of the sides is tusks, one of the sides is like spears behind a shield, like if you were hunting the elephant. One is a tiki mask, one is a hut house, and one is a savanna tree that suggests like hunting them on a wild continent or something. So I don't think there's anything interesting in the iconography that's actually on the ivory dice. Hopping back in game, a thing I've been meaning to do, and I keep forgetting to do since we purchased blue tents, which gives us mechanically the ability to get blue memos when we draft blue rooms on rank 8. I've never actually come back out to the campsite to see if the tent is blue and to see if there's anything else like over here. So I want to check that out. The tents are indeed blue. Oh, tents, plural. There used to just be a tent here at the campsite. Now there are two. This one, if I click on it, doesn't have any interaction. Looks like it's got a suitcase in it and a pillow. And this one, is that like a swimbird plushie? It's got like the bathing trunks, but it looks almost like an elephant to me. But maybe I'm just seeing it from an odd angle. And if I click on this, this is just the same as the old campsite. Okay, so I think there was just one tent here, and now there's two. And they're blue. And otherwise, I don't know if there's anything special going on here. I don't remember this little patch of plants here before. It's possible that I have missed it, but that looks suspicious to me. And so if we get a shovel on this run, I'm going to try to remember to come back and try to dig here. This is back in, I don't remember what episode, some very early episode when I first got a shovel. I accidentally found the conservatory plan, dug up there. I have noticed all these flowers and things before. I guess so long as we are still outdoors, one thing that happens when I'm reviewing all of my screenshots is I see things in new ways. So in the classroom, I'll probably edit in a screenshot, geography map. One of them had like an 8-segment thing in the bottom right of the map, and things were labeled with numbers. I can't remember if I might have even done this before now that I'm thinking about it. Did I do this on camera before? But they were kind of numbered. Well, I might have to go clockwise too. I'm gonna do a full clockwise rotation because there were arrows in this diagram. But basically, this would be number 1. And then this would be number 2. And then this would be number 3. And then this would be number 4. And then 5 would be all the way around here. And 6 would be halfway around from that. And 7 would be most of the way around from that. And 8 would be halfway around from that. And nothing happens. And I can spin around like I'm the other moon. So yeah, there's a diagram with a bunch of arrows and degrees and numbers on 8 different tiles kind of thing, but I don't think this is the right place to do it, or even if it is the right place to do it, I don't know what it is I'm supposed to be doing. I was just stepping on each of the tiles. This was the thing that kind of most spoke to me with respect to that particular diagram, but I'm just kind of like making things up. So long as we're outdoors, we might as well draft the outdoor room. Oh, and I forgot to notice, I started with fewer steps and a dice today, didn't I? I guess I'll take the trading post. I have a feeling that this is not going to be a super long run, given my starting steps. Well, there's a number of ways that I could get around that. I don't even start with the key card today. I guess I'll try to get my hand on a shovel to dig that one thing, and maybe that's the only thing I'll try to do in this particular day, unless I have something else short that could be an achievable goal. I do have one other short thing that I want to do over at Blackbridge Grotto. But first off, let's see if maybe we can get lucky with... Well, let's go ahead and draft the break room, so I'll be able to get a key card tomorrow. But yeah, I'm not even going to bother doing puzzles and things. Lab. I could always get some more allowance or lockpicking skill. Or possibly something else good. Stars. Stars. Stars, stars, stars. Yeah, let's just do this. I can gain 3 stars that way. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so we'll start that experiment. And then, unless I happen to draft the commissary and can buy a bunch of food or something to get more steps, I think I'm just going to quickly abandon this run. And none of those help me. Do I not have a foundation right now? Didn't I have a foundation that was up on level 8? Did I spray it away again? I'm kind of surprised by that. I'm just going to spend my redraw here. Okay, I didn't get anything I wanted. We have to take a couple of steps out anyway. So I might as well draft something that will give me one more room of drafting power over here. I just looked at my map and already ran my experiment. I wasn't even paying attention because I'm a genius. Okay, so don't look at the map. As tempting as it may be. In here, bedroom would give me steps, but just a couple and I'd get back into the den and be in the same spot, so it doesn't really matter. So let's go to Blackbridge Grotto and take a look at the computer, because there are discrepancies in the timeline. Just internally consistently in terms of the logs on the computer in here, as well as external consistency with the rest of the world state that I'm aware of. So, if we go to Blackbridge, and we do More R, Randolph Moore, and we take a look at the admin logs, we'll go through a few in 86, blah, 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 blah. Okay, 87. This is where things start getting interesting. It says there's a deleted log on 32, 33, 34, 6, 7, 9. So a bunch in March. And then in 7 in July. A few in July. There's briefly one that says in 725 we added one that doesn't fit the usual length, which has got to be Boli, and then some in August, and then September. The email was turned off, and then we move into 89, 90, 91, blah, 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 blah. I'm just quickly looking at these because I haven't looked at them recently. Temporary admin key, Harley Ruota, because I guess Randolph Moore was going to be like out of town for a month or something. I don't think I ever learned why that was. And then Kimberly Thompson got added. She's the new intern. Okay, so return to the menu. If I log out and then log back in as Bo Lee B, and then take a look at the admin logs. These are basically similar, I imagine. 210. 3 new admin keys have been added. They're talking in February. They're talking about Mary's disappearance. Now there's stuff happening in June. There were 2 messages in July, but not as many as the deleted messages that we saw before. And then it jumps to 89 and then these things again. So basically, from Randolph Moore's point of view, there were a bunch of deleted logs. From Bo Lee's point of view, we see a different set of logs from different dates. And furthermore, if we go back in time, I had misinterpreted this before. We saw in security, in the home security surveillance or whatever videos inside the security room, that Mary was in the library on 210, and she doesn't disappear until... That's also the same day that Lee starts working here. Oh. What? That still doesn't make sense. We're planning something later this year and need to make sure communication's not being archived. Already taken care of. No one else on the estate knows we're here, other than Mary, of course, who saw Lee on Tuesday, but we have a plan to take care of her. See that the body's not discovered. When I was thinking about this before, I was thinking that it was like a different group of individuals were here with their own plans, and Mary somehow got dragged into it because she disappears from being seen at the 100 Bells tea room or whatever. And then, disappears from public life, but we actually know that she's in the shelter and then eventually gets moved to the safe house. However, plans for the museum. It's the case that Caleb Manning in red letter number something that hopefully I'll put on the screen wrote to Mary back in December to make plans to practice with the closed exhibit draft blueprint, basically the heist to steal the crown. And so that implies that Mary and Caleb were already working on the steal the crown job plans back in December. And furthermore, from Lee B's point of view, these logs start on 210, and this is the same day as this last security log. That's the last security video that was recorded inside, where Mary holds up the picture of the train route to the camera, which implies that she's already written the book A New Clue, which means she knows the name Bo Lee. So maybe Bo Lee is actually Mary in here, in which case is the bit about get rid of Mary and the body. Is this just to throw off like Bon Markle, the detective, if he happens to discover what's on the computer here, so that he thinks that some other group of people stole the red crown and killed Mary and hid the body or something? That seems plausible if you were planning to steal the royal crown from the government or whatever. Then probably you do want to cover your tracks with like false leads and making everybody think that you're dead so they won't find you. But in any case, the fact that the deleted logs don't match up with the extra logs that are in the admin logs here, I still don't know how to interpret that, and I wonder if there is still another password that I'm going to need on this computer in order to understand it all. Yeah, okay. That was pretty long-winded, but I think I talked through the things I wanted to say there. At this point, if I view my map, it should trigger my experiment again. Experiment successful. Yeah, my stars are up to 126. And I'm not going to do anything else with this day, so let's just trigger the experiment again, and now I'm down to 0 steps, and it's going to force me to call it a day. We had a cramped bungalow. Okay, the shrine is here again, and so I'm actually super interested in doing Blessing of the Monk again. So let's do 13 so that we get that. And I want to dump the entrance hall in here tomorrow, so I'm going to call it a day in the entrance hall. But I'll do some quick drafting on my own to see if either I can obtain a shovel so that we can go digging out there, or to see if I can like quickly get to rank 8. In which case, something else good maybe. Also, yeah, I just don't have a foundation right now. I'm not sure quite what happened to it, honestly. I'll have to review old video. Did I spray it with repellent? Maybe I did. Maybe I did. Who can remember these things? Clearly not me. Alright, well I didn't manage to get any more blue memos, and I didn't try very hard, but I did manage to get a moon pendant, so maybe we'll start with something good tomorrow. But I'm going to call it a day here in the entrance hall. And then I want to check out what things look like outside. Alright, so we had a cozy shopping center. And we start the next day with sledgehammer and running shoes. Nothing particularly amazing. But if I draft the entrance hall on the outer grounds, will I see the same 3 exits as the time that we got the antechamber there? Or will I see something different? Let's find out together. Entrance hall. Here we are. Interesting. I still have a sledgehammer, right? There's an allowance token in here. Okay. That's fun. The allowance tokens, by the way, do not make allowances. And it's a very weird A that almost looks like a broken spearhead or something. I'm not sure. And number 2, perhaps because it raises your allowance by 2. I was looking at that graphic at some point. What about this one? Still nothing inside here. Okay, so that... Suppose I draft the patio here and dig in the secret spot in front of the barbecue. Might there be a different prize? Just as there was a different prize here, it was usually the microchip. Okay, that's something I'm going to have to add to my notes right now. Okay, apart from that... Oh, interesting. This is walled off. This is walled off. This is also walled off. So we might need the antechamber room in order to get to that secret shrine thing. Okay, super interesting. Open only in the event of inheritance. This is the same letter as always. Is there anything else that might be different here in the entrance hall? I suppose this is different because it's like built into the... Oh, wow. Yeah, it's like the framing that's the always doorway into this place, I guess, from the outer grounds. But it's been like superimposed on what's usually at the entrance hall, I guess. That's kind of cool. Okay, yeah, I will try to do the patio experiment, I suppose, or if I come up with any other rooms that had individual secret prizes. If you put the dining room in here and you got to rank 8, I mean, I guess there'd probably just be a meal here. Yeah, there's a bunch of rooms that could be interesting to draft on the outer grounds that I'd never really thought about before. But in any case, I got my 3 exits, and this time there wasn't something special over here. So, the antechamber led to something special over here. Might there be a room that leads to something special on the left or right? I do still wonder about that. Okay, with the inventory that I have, I think I'm just going to try to do another quick day, see if I can grab a shovel. If not, and I don't come up with any other clever tasks, then try to just get some blue memos. So I'm in the solarium, and ideal for tea in the afternoons. And so I think it's just a pun, but there's like a giant T in the panes over here. That's like a darker color or whatever. I haven't seen any other letters like that, so I think that's all that there is to it, but I figured I should point it out. Well, this is fortunate. I got the gear wrench from the Lost and Found. My utility closet, now that I don't always end the day in the break room, has become very difficult to find, and also I need to eventually get its blue memo, so I'm going to move it back to standard for now, so that we'll be able to get that on rank 8 at some point in the future. And I still have re-rolls, and I might be able to get something... Oh, I need to go by the conference room. I have an experiment going to get observatory stars when I eat apples, and I have gotten the secret garden. Don't need to worry about gems at this point. So here's my conference room. Num 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 num. So that'll give me a bunch of observatory stars. And then there's a couple more rooms I can draft. None of those rooms would ever have an apple. A classroom might. Trying to think of what other rooms might have an apple. The study, I think I've seen an apple in before. Yeah, I think I have seen an apple in it before, but not today. That's fine. Got one more room. The bunk room. Have I ever seen it with fruit other than bananas? I don't think I have. I won't be able to draw the classroom if I see it. Yeah, none of these are going to have apples, so I guess I'll just take the freezer. Because why not? And that way I'll have some extra money tomorrow. Sure. And then, did I get a break room today? I did. I do have the Blessing of the Monk. Are there any other interesting rooms that could be worth drafting in the morning? I was talking about the patio at the dig spot, but I don't have another filing cabinet key that I could even use to try to... Well, no, it would be whether I could dig up another key. Yeah, so that and the laundry room could both be interesting. I didn't draft either of them today. I love the opportunity to adjust room rarities, so I'm going to do the conservatory to give myself that option for next time. But yeah, we did some experiments and talked about some ideas that I had off camera, and so that feels good for today. We had a garden concert hall. that's going to be where I go ahead and call it a day for today and say that I hope, as always, that you all are having a great day, and I will see you again soon with more blueprints. For now, bye-bye.